Hey, I know y'all saw that beatdown we just put on Ole Miss. It was looking rough first half. The Tigers came through. Broom came to ball. Chad Baker Mazara came to ball. Everybody came to ball. Let's talk about it.
The Auburn Express. You are now listening to the War Report Lawtown Podcast. With your boy Ike Jones.
Yes, indeed. In here, me and my guy C-Dub here to talk about the beatdown. Now, I know y'all heard that it was, your boy Ike Jones. It usually is your boy Ike Jones, but today it's your boy B Will C-Dub, and we got a show, see? We got a show for the first time in at least 2 weeks. We got us playing up to potential, but not just against a scrub team like Vanderbilt. We brought it on the road against a team that had been playing very well, and we dominated for an entire half. I love to see it. I know people in the chat love to see it. We're going to talk about it, but real quick, we need to talk about our sponsor, BetUs. We actually got a link in the description of the video. You can go there, you sign up, you get 125% deposit bonus when you sign up, and that's who we are riding with now through March Madness and hopefully into the fall too. So y'all go there, you sign up, use that link so we can get credit for that. We need that. We need that. We need our ducats in here. And that's how we do our betting around here. But, see, would you like to conduct it?
Sure. I was looking at some of the stats, getting it together. What am I doing again?
Oh, I thought you just wanted to run point.
Oh, I'll run it. I'll run
point.
it. Listen,
you did run point when you played in high school, right?
I didn't play in high school, but middle school, yes. I did play in middle school, yes, I did. Yes.
Look at me giving you too much credit.
I was more of a football. I began to transition to my natural gifts, which was on the gridiron, believe it or not, in football. Auburn wins 91-77, much needed win, first quad one win, a road victory against a quality opponent in Ole Miss. This is one of the things that I talked about, B.
Yeah.
We needed to see Auburn go on the road in a pressure environment and win.
We did.
And not only did they do it, they did it big. Now, again, it was close. Auburn began to pull away as the game went on. But again, the usual suspects. I mean, first of all, Auburn shot 54% from the field. That's good on the road. From three, 44%. Went to the line 13 times. Made 9 of 13 free throws. The story of the game to me was this. They out-rebounded Ole Miss 41-26.
Intensity rebounding.
That's your game right there.
Rebounding, yeah.
That's your ball game right there. B, we'll talk about the presence of our big men. Jay Will showing up, being the leading scorer of this team, or one of the leading scorers. I think he wasn't the only one. Yeah, he was the leading scorer. I think. Nope. Yeah, he was. Talk about him actually showing up in this game. We know Janai Broome had a very scoreless, quiet first half, but Janai Broome came on in the second half. Talk about the importance of our front court in this game.
Our front court knew that they had an advantage inside. Now, I would beg the question, well, why didn't we take advantage of that mismatch inside in the first half? Now, I don't think we played badly in the first half, though. From what I saw, though, I want to make sure y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Ole Miss had a player that was declared out just minutes before the matchup, like 15 minutes before the game started, something like that. My guess is he's a big man because they had the guy, Cisse, I think that was his name. He was all right, but he was kind of getting abused after a while. He couldn't do much with Broome. And our advantage was inside. Now, I said the guy's name was Sharp, so okay. We had the advantage inside, but I think the first half was more about letting them do what they wanted to do than it was us not doing what we could do. The offense was moving in the first half. Now, we weren't hitting all our shots. We had a couple of careless turnovers, nothing like I saw against Bama in that away matchup. I thought we played decent first half, but we did have some lapses defensively that let them get hot, stay hot, and after a certain point, we were defending well.
We had some bad turnovers in the first half for sure.
We had a couple. It was not let's just say I've seen worse.
We have been worse for sure.
Yeah.
But for sure, but the way Ole Miss was playing, those were very untimely turnovers. I would say that.
Right.
But continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I wasn't down on us because of how we played in the first half offensively. I thought our defense was actually the issue in the first half, and man, to see us come down there, play through Broom. Broom said, "I'm about to get this." Jay Will going down there getting comfortable. Chad Baker-Mazara going down there again. Chaney Johnson, man, very controlled offensive possessions down there in the paint.
Comfortable now. Looks very comfortable now.
It looked amazing. It was amazing to see all of these guys. Denver Jones played very well. That three at the end of the first half to kind of cap their momentum and get us back under 10, I thought was phenomenal. Now, it wouldn't have mattered if we played like that in the second half regardless. We won by over 10 points. We were going to run them out of the gym. But I think I saw what I needed to see as far as, okay, they're not out of this yet. They are not defeated. Denver's coming around. Chaney Johnson's coming around. Chad Baker-Mazara has really been there all season. It's the usual suspects. I thought Aiden played better. Okay, the front court was the key. Their rebounding and their energy, especially in the second half, and their focus. But the things that weren't working so well, they weren't nearly as much of a detriment this game. We wore those boys out. And I always thought that should be our advantage, right? If we're going to go 10 deep, we should be able to. I mean, who wouldn't we be able to do that? Especially if you're down a man. You're down either a starter or a serious rotation player. We should be able to run anybody out the gym that way. We did it tonight. It looked phenomenal. Yes, it was those second chance points. It was some timely threes dropping, though. KD hitting big shots. Simo hitting big shots. Trey Donaldson keeping us from getting run out of the game early with a couple of big threes back to back when it could have gotten way uglier in the first half. All around, this was a phenomenal second half, a flawless second half. First half, defensively, of course, we let them get a little too loose. The refs didn't really get in our way too much tonight. I thought it was a loosely reffed game. It could have been way worse because, college basketball refs, man. But this was a phenomenal game for us. Phenomenal game.
Listen, they took, to your point, B, they played a good first half. Ole Miss, after getting ran off of our court in Neville Arena, this was personal for them. And so we basically survived Ole Miss's kill shot in the first half. They were shooting lights out, shooting the ball really well. For Denver Jones to hit that three, bring us under 10 going into the half was crucial. Coming out in the second half, you outscored them by 23 points. We dominated them. We scored 56 points in a half, sir. Auburn just looked more comfortable. And I think I've said it before. The key to this team getting in a rhythm is Johni Broome. Johni Broome had 0 points in the first half.
Right.
Once he got going, once he began to abuse them in the post, down low, we were off to the races. And as I said, once you start getting guys like Jalen Williams going, and everybody was on tonight, but I said if Auburn can get someone who's a number 2 guy scoring in this game, taking the pressure off of Johni, and really, truly, a lot of those guys did their part in the first half while Johni was scoreless to keep us in the game. But once he got going and everyone kept contributing, it was over.
Yeah,
it was over.
That was it.
Because when you get this Auburn who's beating you by committee, this is what I say a committee win here. Looking at some of the points here, I said Johni Broome had 15, Jay Will had 16, Trey Donaldson had 10. Denver Jones had 11. Mm-hmm. Chad Baker-Mazara had 50. KD had 11. Mm-hmm. Aiden Holloway had 6. And don't let Aiden Holloway start figuring some things out. Mm-hmm. This was a committee win. This was one of the performances you want to see. This is one of the wins you want to see us on the road where everybody is playing. This is usually the type of performance you would expect at Neville Arena. But to see it by committee was pivotal here. And this is what I needed to see, B. This brings me back down to earth. I told you I was concerned because we hadn't seen Auburn pull out a win like this. Again, I still need to see Auburn in clutch moments, clutch situations where the game is a two possession game, right? We need to see Auburn actually pull out those games, but it's again, I will take them pulling away from a good Ole Miss team on the road. I'll take it every day.
I will take that emphatically.
Indeed.
And you know what I want to say? Let's get to the chat. But shout out to Morgan Freeman. I'm sorry you had to come and look at that. Of all the reasons that you would come to a game, I seriously doubt you wanted to see your boys get skull drug for 20 minutes, second half right there. You are a generational talent, sir. Thank you for your vocal contributions to entertainment.
That has nothing to do with this,
Amigo, my boy.
Beat down.
Amigo, my boy.
Yeah, we had a sip, all right. We had a sip, all right. All right, let's get to the comments, guys. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Exclusive TV just came in the second half and put belts to cheeks. Amigo, that's what I call standing on business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it happened quick too, buddy. Like we was in there, it was tied in like 2 minutes. Like we wasted no time. They knew what they wanted to get to, and they got to it.
I got John Brandon here. A double-digit road quad one win, much needed. I would agree with you, sir. Tatiana Conover says, "What a beautiful win! Beautiful it was." Exclusive TV, Baker and KD with them big dunks.
I missed the KD dunk. I ran upstairs to start getting my computer ready, and I can't believe it. Now I got to go back and watch. We taped the game.
It was beautiful. Yeah, you got it. I mean, Tim 2 Main Taylor says KD dragging. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube.
I don't want to say that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say that. But he's dragging them though.
Yeah,
on them for sure. You got to see it, B. You got to see it. You got to see it. It was a nice, Chad Baker-Mazar pretty much the dunk that pretty much ended it.
I thought the three. I can't remember who shot it. There was a three.
Chad
I think it was Jay Will. That took it to 15 late. Was that Chad Baker-Mazar?
That was Chad Baker-Mazar.
That was the end of the game.
That was a dagger. But then KD had an extra, an extra dunk here. Valencia, appreciate you being with us. Says Jalen said that Chad Baker-Mazar kicked the coaches out at halftime. Some people said he also. I think Lisa Wise actually commented on this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Valencia.
Yeah, she said.
Jalen Williams told SEC commentators that Chad Baker kicked the coaches out of the locker room at the half. Players handled it.
Players handled it.
This is what you
keep handling it.
See.
Keep handling it, players.
You got some leaders. You got some that tells me you got some leaders on this team.
Yeah. Chad Baker-Mazar is a mature individual. He's run through some a really good program at San Diego State. He had to go down to JUCO. He came up to this level to make a statement and get himself prepared for the league. He's got the talent, but he also has the drive, the leadership. But you could see it. You could see it from day one with him. But everybody else who's a senior talent, they played more than 2 years in this game, then they are showing up right now, middle of the season. That's why Chaney's starting to show up. That's why Denver's showing up. That's why, of course, Broom's balling. That's why KD can show up in these big moments. Experience is paying dividends for this team, and that type of leadership is priceless.
All right. Really cozy. It says Chad is a dog. That dunk was cold.
That was, oh my goodness. You know what? It was really cool watching us walk them down to a tie, and then we slowly start to push the lead. I know they pushed back a little bit, but by the time it got to 8 or 9, I saw those bodies on Ole Miss. I saw that look in their eyes. I saw the light fade. I'm
gonna be honest. I
love seeing that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Morrell was hitting some buckets for Ole Miss. Brakefield chipped in 15. When I saw that Flanny was like their leading guy, their leading scorer, I was like,
hey man, well, thank you Flanagan for your contribution.
Hey, listen, this ain't an. Hey, I'm not though. Hey, listen,
I know what you mean. I know what you're saying
because I remember this feeling at Auburn. When Flanny was the guy, when he was the leading scorer, I was like, he was the one getting buckets, and credit to him. He was getting to the basket, getting to the foul line, chipping in. He had a good game. Not knocking him, But I felt confident that because you're not going to continue to keep driving to the basket. You're not going to beat us that way. Not the way we were shooting, not the way. And they had some guys hitting some threes for them, some timely threes at points to keep themselves within the game. But when Flanny was like the leading guy trying to take over, I was like, they're not going to be able to keep up because we weren't able to keep up when Flanny was doing that. So I already felt that we were pulling away. We had this game in hand. But yes, we got a question here. B. Ant wants to know best dunk of the night. You didn't see KD's.
I didn't see KD's.
So you can't really speak on it. I'm going Chad Baker Mazar.
And I love Chad Baker. I can't vote. I didn't see KD's.
I'm going Chad Baker Mazar.
Okay.
I'm going Chad Baker Mazar just because of he got it off with 0.1 second.
Right. I thought they were gonna say it didn't count.
I thought they was going to. Yeah, it was close. B.
Yeah.
To me, that was impressive.
Yeah.
That was impressive. First of all, that ball I thought was going into the third, like the third row. Like it was he saved the pass, didn't have the presence of mind to drive to the basket, then cocked it back and dunked it.
He a hooper, man. See, like that's
Chad Baker Mazar, bro.
Length and athleticism, he can play in the NBA. Like he has everything he needs to play in the NBA. He can be a 3-and-D guy and a guy who's inside hooping and finishing inside on loose rebounds and stuff like that. He is a hooper. I'm so glad we got him on our team. So glad.
For sure. TZ Kicks says Denver Jones is finally getting comfortable.
Yeah.
He's picking his shots.
Yeah. He's picking his shots. He's handling the ball well. What I see the entire team doing, and the reason I wasn't too concerned after the first half, they are making the right plays on offense with the pass much more often. They're not forcing it once they try to get to the rim and just finishing over guys and initiating a lot of contact, going for contact. That's something that in the past KD had a lot of trouble with. He just decides, I'm going to get to the hoop. They are passing out of that drive if they don't like what they see. And they're doing it and really finding the open man. We seem to be in the right spots to get that pass, swing it around the perimeter, find somebody for the open three, or redistribute it back down low to somebody who has a size advantage. Like, we are playing very, very well. Denver's playing. He in particular, I think, has found his spot, his place in the offense. They're all doing a fantastic job. We may not have one killer offensive player that you have to stop. Like, I can safely say credit to Morrell. I think he's a phenomenal offensive player, and we probably don't have a single offensive player that's as good as he is, but we've got like 5 players offensively that could be the number 2 on anybody's squad, and that's very, very valuable with that type of depth.
Yeah, for sure. And he's they're starting to find him as well. Like that's the beauty of it. They're starting to find guys like a Denver Jones. Denver Jones was able to get to the basket. I thought he did a good job of, again, shot selection was great. They were missing, like the shots they were missing were good looks. So again, to your point, B, once those shots started dropping, it was going to be, we were off to the races. One of the most beautiful passes and assists was Janai Broome out of the post, finding Denver Jones for the corner 3. One of the better plays of the night. I enjoyed that. Yeah. These guys are playing beautiful offense. They play beautiful offense tonight, for sure. 44 points in the paint, B.
Domination.
It's safe to say that if you get at least 40 points in the paint, that's good money for Auburn.
That's good money. Fantastic money.
Yeah, man. All right, let's get to TK says props to Bruce Pearl for letting the players have the locker room too. Bruce Pearl's a player's coach, though.
He's a player's coach. He demands a lot of his players, but I think if the players are following suit and doing what he asks them to do, he's going to give you a decent amount of leeway because he wants players to be as loose and as confident as our players look tonight in that second half. You don't get that if you coach players too tight, and Bruce knows that. So he gives them the leeway to be themselves. Sometimes that has always meant taking ill-advised shots. All right, shots that, like, why are you shooting from way out there? Whether it was Jared Harper or Wendell Green or Aiden Holloway, He says, man, listen, if you believe you can hit that shot, I believe in you. Now, along with that comes, all right, you ain't hit that no more. You got to stop. But, I mean, hey, but he's going to give you the leeway to take it and to find yourself and be the most comfortable player on the floor that you can be for the team. And I'm glad that Bruce knows when to step back and let players rise to the challenge of leading each other and being the loudest voice in the locker room, because it makes a difference, especially when you have the leaders. You got the guys who can do it. Like, if you don't have guys that really, really want to be that guy, then you kind of have to, as the coach, all right, let me come in here and be this voice. But you got the guys this year. Will you have them every year? No. Seniority might be a problem. Experience might be a problem next year. But for this year, you got the guys. Let them run it. And it was beautiful, boy.
I mean, and Bruce Pearl has allowed his teams, even when the opponent is having a run, he won't call a timeout. He will let those guys play through it and figure it out themselves. And so that doesn't surprise me that he would allow the players to handle that internally at the half. And it showed. It showed. They came out with a sense of urgency.
I see Kareem Canty. Yes, him as well. If he was feeling it, he pulled up from way back, and Bruce gave him the green light. Yes, Bruce has always been that type of coach. Yes,
absolutely. John Brandon says it shows they have bought in.
Yep.
They're playing well together, man. They're playing well together. This type of performance tonight is what we envisioned when all these guys came in.
Yes.
From where we envisioned this type of production from this ball club. Again, man, listen. Aiden begins to fit, and I think Aiden. Let's talk about Aiden real quick.
Okay.
I liked Aiden's shot selection in this game.
Yes.
It wasn't forced. Eventually, those are going to start. I mean, sometimes players go through slumps. I'm not mad at Aiden when he plays the way he played tonight. Not mad at that. I think there are times that Aiden has tried to force some things. And I think that because of that, it looked worse at times with him. He played within the game. He played very controlled. The threes he took, they were better. They were better threes.
Yes.
So I was pleased with his. He drove to the basket, drew contact, got to. That's what you want to see.
Right.
I'm pleased with how he's beginning to play within the game. But your thoughts on Aiden?
Aiden, I mean, I agree with you completely. He looked like he's been getting coached. Okay. Aiden knows he has a 3-point bucket in his arsenal, and he was leaning on it way too much from way too far outside and not really making or letting the offense go. He wants to be a contributor, I think. I think Aiden wants to be as good as he possibly can be so soon, right now, and he doesn't want to let the team down by not being that good. But I think he was pressing. And it seems that they're trying to get him to slow down, read the motion, look at what's open, take what's open, because we have a lot of guys on this team who can score. You don't have to be the everything. We needed a point guard to be everything 2 years ago when Jabari was here, and it was, Walker and Jabari. Yeah. When Wendell was here, like last year, he was struggling to do it all by himself. He's undersized. There is a lot of value to what Aiden can be once he's ready. But, hey, you're not ready yet. And you don't have to be, buddy. You just got to get this ball moving and distribute it to these players who are very experienced around you. We got so much better outside shooting this year. Look, Chad Baker-Mazara, 3. Jay Will,
3 for 6. He was 3 for 6 tonight.
Semo, 3. Trey Donaldson, 3. KD, 3.
Broom
pulled back. He stepped back that one time. He tried to do it again the next time down the court. It was late second half. And he was talking mad trash after he hit that 3. I was very excited. To see.
I needed him to chill because he already had a tech on him.
He did, but it was out of hand by that point. Like it was already cooked. It was already in the oven. They just had to take that cake out the oven. I love seeing Broom talk trash in those circumstances. Like sometimes, we'll be up like 4 points. And he had a bad half, and he do an inside move, and then he do the too little. Like, hey, man, okay, it's too close right now. Let's keep playing. Okay? But right. I love that confidence from when he hit that 3. Outside shooting is incredible this year. Aiden shouldn't feel the pressure to try to do it all by himself. And I think by putting him on the bench, they're allowing him like, hey, man, look, just watch and see how we do this. Because Trey can run the offense better right now than Aiden can. But Aiden needs to see that. He needs to see that because he needs to be able to do that. I think he's on the way. I think it's going to take a little extra time. All right. Jabari Smith coming around by the time a couple games into the regular season of the SEC schedule. That was an aberration. That's not normal. It's not normal for a true freshman to be the best difference maker on your floor, especially when you're playing the point guard position. There's too much more to consider. There's a lot more to consider when you're playing point. Having Aiden be the guy who can carry us from point as a true freshman would have been a lot to ask, so I'm not disappointed. I just hope he continues to improve. Today was a good step forward, and by the time we get to the end of the regular season, SEC tournament, we are a complete team. Everybody's chipping in, and we don't have any busted tires on the car.
Phil Petway, while we were talking about Aiden, mentioned Aiden is playing like he's seen the floor better. Agreed with that. John Brandon says Aiden played smarter tonight and was patient. He will slowly get to where he needs to be. Remember Trey last year? Yeah, Trey came on strong by the tournament time. If that's the progression, we hope that's the progression, but if that's the progression for Aiden Holloway, I'm here for it because that means we're even more deadlier as a team come tourney time. That's one additional guy that you got to be concerned about when there's already guys on this team who can snipe you at any given moment. We're going to bring on Dustin, our guy. How you doing, bro? You all
What's up,
smiles.
boys?
You smiling like Auburn won tonight, man. How you feeling?
6 in a row probably means you should shut up, 6 in a row. You should probably pipe down over there. That's what that means to me. Yeah, good win, man. I think that obviously Denver kind of kept us alive in the first half. And at halftime, like I was telling our group chat, are they going to keep shooting it at that percentage? It just felt like they were making everything in that first half, especially those first 10 minutes. Yeah, this was probably the best one of the year. Now you got the big opportunity to come back Wednesday, and you can really put a stamp on it. Look at our 4 losses, man. We're a good basketball team, right? This is kind of why Bruce came out about a week ago and said there's no reason to freak out. Tough schedule. There's going to be some more losses, but it felt good to let Ole Miss know y'all are improving. You're coming up, but you're not there yet. Janai again. It's kind of interesting to see because this is like a trend, right? Where it's a slow start in the second half. He comes out and realizes, okay, it's time for me to eat. It makes me wonder, what that is, because it seems to be happening almost every game. I love that he's coming out in the second half aggressive and ultimately getting his buckets. Get it however, it doesn't matter to me. But
with that footwork,
what would it look like if we established it more in the first half? Would it be more consistent? Would it look a little bit better? Could he would that improve the performance a little bit more? But just offensively, dude, a full balanced attack. He just hit him in waves. KD comes in, he hits him. How clutch was CBM down the stretch. That dunk was probably one of the best. I think that might be the best dunk since Jabari's dunk in the tournament.
I agree.
That was filthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was filthy.
All right. So that was so someone asked us earlier, Jay Will, Chad Baker, Mazzara, KD, whose dunk you like better? I said Chad Baker, Mazzara. So obviously, based on what you just said, you would have to go Chad Baker, Mazzara too, right?
Yeah. No, I like look, the KD getting a put back on you. That's just kind of like letting you know we're just beating your ass all around. At
that dunk was also on Alan Flanagan too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean it was poetic justice, and it was just like I said, y'all been talking, and Lane, keep talking, bro. Even when it ain't your lane to be talking in.
Yeah, it's basketball season, Lane. Shut up.
I see what you did there, Dustin.
What is he talking about?
Your stuff. It's not your lane.
It's not your lane.
Would have been impressed.
And look, and you got us in your lane. You got us, but you stepped over here, overstepped your bounds.
In your lane.
6 in a row, 3 years.
That's a t-shirt.
Shout out Ike, broken ugly, right? Broken ugly. Y'all, they ain't even got a penny, bro. You're not even.
That's a song by an artist I know called "Stay in Your Lane." He would be awesome at that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Simo hit a big 3. That 3 that Denver hit right there at the end of the first half was huge. We just obviously, I know that people probably said in the chat by now. I know that y'all went live right at the game, but CBM coming in at halftime and kicking all the coaches out and saying, "Hey, look. We're gonna get this dub. There's no reason for us to come out here and lose to this team that we're clearly better than. Played them twice, whooped their ass both times. This is a good basketball team, and we're a really good basketball team. Showed our depth tonight. And I don't think that even in the first half our defense was bad. They were just knocking down shots, man.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like over 40 minutes they were going to be able to do that. And shout out to Janai for getting in foul trouble early and then being able to stay out of that and dominate in the second half. That could have got sketchy. And high IQ down the stretch to stay out of foul trouble by him.
For sure. Gentlemen, let me grab some stuff real quick. Let me handle some business real quick. Get back to some of
Let's do it.
D-Lab says, I wonder what Lane Kiffin is thinking.
Lame Kiffin. Lame Kiffin. I don't know. Lane Kiffin might. Let me not say that in public, okay? What I was going to accuse Lane Kiffin of. Lane Kiffin has appeared to be a little unstable lately. I don't know if it's all the attrition on the staff, and this is him throwing temper tantrums. Was that tested? I don't know. He seems to be in the mood to play the trolling fan. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's not a great look for a coach. You know what I mean? Like, grow up, man. You got plenty of fans that'll do that for you. Do your winning on the field. Let your basketball team do their winning on the court. Don't take a picture of a football field talking about beat Auburn, man. Go home, Lane. Go home. Watch the game. Go to the game. You in the SIP. Go to the game sidelines.
He was there.
Was he there?
He was there. They showed him. He was there.
Okay, good.
He got a front row seat. I think they was throwing out L's. He caught one at the end of the game.
Good. That's the place to make your presence felt. Go support. I'm glad he was there to see that ass whooping.
Yeah, he had a good upfront view of that. Chatham says, "What's with all the green names?" I'm glad you asked that. The green names are actually members of the War Report. You can actually do that yourself. Here's why you should do that. Because this offseason, as well as during the season, Ike does film review. He does it for football and basketball. During this offseason, he's been doing film review of some of our portal editions. He's been doing film review of coordinators, coaches, all the insight to give you an idea of what to expect on the gridiron for Auburn, but he also does film review for basketball as well. A lot of behind the wall paywall content for our members there. Definitely $5.99 will get you there. Also, if you're hanging around, some of these people with green names were beneficiaries of people who also gifted memberships, because there's a button there as well. You can gift memberships to those who are like yourself, chat, who are wondering what's up with the green names. There's just perks that these people have by being members and supporters of the War Report each month. $5.99 again will get you there. So thanks to all who have been supporting the War Report and will continue gifting memberships and continue supporting us down the road. So
we
definitely
appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Plug that real quick. Let me get back to Tim Toolmain Taylor. Sensational. Kind of did it in Future's voice. I can't even say since I have to say it like that now.
Yeah.
Gotta
if you
say
know,
it like
if you
that.
know, you know. That's the perfect little
Future.
meme. Yeah.
The prophet. Love it. Let me grab some of these supers. Jazzy says Ole Miss said they don't lose at home. They don't have a home.
Hobos.
F your couch. Ole Miss.
I just saw the replay of KD. Oh man, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful. It looked personal. I like
Auburn
that.
said F your couch. Is what they
just
said
took the
tonight.
tag.
And we really did.
Yeah, F your couch. All right. Jesse Joe says Lame Kitten is an Auburn stan. Low key. Probably. I'm gonna have to go with that. I'm gonna have to
tweets about Auburn more than I do.
Hey, you should have took the job, Lane.
You got.
I didn't want you over here.
Right?
I didn't want you over here. But if you care so much, you should have took the job. Well, nobody want to stay at Ole Miss, and you got to pretend you want to stay at Ole Miss. That's your fault. You didn't have to do that. You could have took another job. But thank you for not taking it. I'm very glad you did not.
I'm
very glad you did not.
Yo, no recruiting behind at Auburn. We would have been having fits. Phil Petway says them know what's coming. Let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about coming off of this win. 2-game win streak. Back home, Neville Arena. This is the game right here. Them coming to Neville Arena next week. just like how Ole Miss was in the first half, you have to know that we're going to be amped up for that game with Alabama coming in.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys expect? I mean, obviously, I expect revenge. This is going to be a revenge game right here. Your thoughts about that game and what you expect to see?
Can't let them get you 2 years in a row, right? Like you can't let it get to 4. You have to win this game. You have to. We can't keep losing to Bama, and we can't keep losing to them. If you look at it in the Big Three, they got you in everything last year, and they've got you in football in the first basketball this year. It's time to beat Bama in something, and it's time to do it this week. And then as far as just like for what it means for this team and for the season, it's another big win to add on your resume. Everyone's talking about not having quad 1 wins. And then bang, you got 2 right all of a sudden, right? So you can knock all that out real quick and really kind of cement yourself as a solid team. Well, everybody can look at it and say, okay, man, enough with the narrative about Auburn not beating good teams. And, I guess because we were able to put our foot on their throat, people might still continue with the narrative of saying, well, Auburn doesn't win close games. I would kind of argue that tonight because you were down by 9, right? At half on the road. It's just you came out and asserted yourself. You still faced adversity the way I see it. But I wouldn't mind if it was a close game within 2 minutes and we really had to pull off a big shot on the late possession. But I wouldn't mind whooping their ass either, right? So either way. But I think that the boys are going to be ready.
About beating a team down by 50.
Yeah, for sure. And the jungle's going to be jumping. I think we handle business.
Dang it, we should have won close. No.
And Stewart's making a good point, too. We got him. We swept them both times in hockey this week. Shout out to the hockey team.
Nice.
Phenomenal.
No, I agree wholeheartedly with you, Dustin, for sure. This is a must win. This is a must win. Also, too, it puts you back in the driver's seat in terms of competing for the conference championship, regular season championship. Knocking out because I think Alabama are they first right now?
They're first right now.
So this would Mississippi State tonight.
So we basically would return, especially if Bama wins tonight. I actually kind of want them to win so they can bring that number 1 standing into Neville Arena and we can snatch it from them and jack them.
I do not want them to win. All right. They have 1 conference loss. We have 2. So if we win that game, we will be tied with a tiebreaker because.
That's right.
Well, no, not even with the tiebreaker. It'll be 1-1. I want to have an outright advantage. I want them to lose every game they play for the rest of time. If they're gonna be good, then yes. I mean, you get what I'm saying. There's too much that can happen in basketball, especially, man. You have an off night or the refs decide they want to be the star of the show and then you lose the game.
I see a lot of L's coming down from Bama too. I just want us to be the one who starts it. I would love that. Ugly trend for them. It's been long time coming. Yeah. For sure. But no doubt I expect to see good things in Neville Arena for the good guys.
Yeah.
All right.
I expect a double-digit win is what I expect.
P-Pass says we put Ole Miss in Shawshank.
I see what you did there, P-Pass.
I like that. Guys, who's your player of the game?
Oh, I can't pick.
I'm gonna go to CBM because I think just he made the most clutch plays down the stretch. It just seemed like he was always the one making the basket when we kind of needed it most. So close, but I'm gonna go CBM here.
It could be CBM. It could almost always be Janai. Because of just numbers-wise, what he gives you. It could be Denver for how he kept us.
He almost had a triple-double.
I got to go with Janai. And that's no slight to anybody else. I got to go Janai, man. I got to go Janai.
I think given what we heard about him at the halftime, having the players, it feels weird saying kicking the coaches out, but having the coaches exit, rallying the troops, coming out and balling the way that he did, daggers down the stretch. I'm going to have to agree with Dustin. I'm going to have to go Chad Baker-Mazar for this game just because we saw his leadership shine through as well as with his play, right?
Yeah.
We got both of those things out of him, and Auburn had a sense of urgency coming out in the half. He was a part of that. Got to give him the game ball, in my opinion. Janai is Janai. Janai's going to give you he's going to give you that production. Yeah. But I'm pleased with Chad Baker-Mazar tonight.
You said the players throwing the coaches out, and I just imagine like Bruce Pearl flying out like Jazzy Jeff on Fresh Prince, get thrown out the house. Oh!
You got Uncle Field out of your own locker room. James
funny.
Barnett says, "Where are all the people who said we sucked at halftime? I thought you play the game until the clock hits 0. Let's go, AU." You must have been on Twitter. I gotta stay off. I stay off Twitter during the games.
Yeah, I don't know what people be looking at, man. Does anybody watch any basketball, especially college basketball? Teams come out with a game plan, you make runs, things kind of settle into the game, and now all the energy just kind of dies, and now you are left to play ball. Coaches make adjustments if they have adjustments to make, and then you've got a game. The only danger really in that first half was if you get almost run out of the gym completely, like Trey, those early threes by Trey kept us in the game. Denver kept us in the game, because if you don't make those, then we're looking at a 20-point deficit at points, and maybe you don't even have enough to overcome, because if we're down 20 instead of 9, and let's be clear here, we hit some clutch shots in the first half, so it was just a 9-point deficit. We outscored them by 23 points in the second half. If it's a 3-point game, that means it's not as simple as, hey, we're up by more points, let's get out of here. That means it's a free throw game. It's a tie-up here or there that could decide the game, and the margin for error is so much smaller. What those guys did early to keep us in the game let me know that we were still fighting through that game, and I had every bit of confidence that we would be able to fight back and win that game. 9 points, we can do it. If it's 16, 17, 18, it's not that we can't do it, it's that you tighten the margins too much, and now you have to have a phenomenal game. The refs have to stay in their place. Fortunately, that happened tonight, because I've seen a great defensive effort get derailed because refs are calling the game really tight and some phantom calls, and all of a sudden that effort that you were going to put forth that would have made the run to win you the game, it goes nowhere. So shouts out to the players and the coaches. We kept that game tight enough so that when we made our run, it couldn't be decided by some ghost calls or whatever in a tight game. It's a 2-half game. We played a phenomenal second half, but anybody who's saying that we were bad or we sucked after that first half, if you saw them tweet that, unfollow them. You don't want to see them. And if you don't follow them, go to their page and mute them at least. You might not want to block them. You know, no disrespect. Don't even let that into your atmosphere, man. We don't follow nobody who talk about ball like that.
Yeah, I did a lot of that Saturday after the Mississippi State game. It's funny too, because one of the things I said, and I just kind of said like, hey, listen, tough week. I know that losing 2 games is not fun, but on the road, close losses, it kind of is what it is. You got a whole bunch of opportunities. You could win both your next games, and everybody wouldn't be saying anything, right? And I said, one thing I said was, this team is a veteran team with a lot of leadership. They're going to be okay. And they're a together team, right? Like, things are cool behind the scenes. And there was a lot of clapback on that. If we had leadership, we would have been able to finish down the stretch in these 2 games. And then you hear the CBM story tonight. Yeah, we're a really good basketball team, man. We are. It's really going to be about just being healthy in March and being hot at that time. And then and then obviously it's literally called March Madness for a reason. Once you get in there, anything can happen. But we all saw the graphic. They put it up a couple of times tonight. 4 seed, like, we're sitting pretty, man. And this is a tough little stretch that we got coming up ahead of us. But if we just if we win half of them, then we're good.
And this is a pretty tough stretch. So this was a good win starting off that tough gauntlet of games for sure. Dustin, one of the things I mentioned, my concern was for this team. One of the things that they got to figure out, like a lot of teams, it's not like this is something that is unique to Auburn. You got to figure out how to win on the road, because it's tough to win on the road. We understand that. No matter how much leadership you have on your team, it's tough to win on the road in the SEC, especially when you have a team that's really playing up to their potential. Right. And so winning tonight on the road against an Ole Miss team that is much improved, that will be a tourney team, a quad 1 win, that was step 1 in showing that, hey, this team is beginning to try to figure some things out on the road. It's not March yet. We just got into the month of February, so they got some time to figure some things out. So, yes, you'll see some losses like we saw a week ago, but this team is beginning to figure some things out. All right, we'll still see some ugly play here and there, but again, if we catch fire, we've seen some of our better teams catch fire later on and figure some things out. they're still in the process of figuring it out. Tonight was step one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. John Brandon says Denver Jones to me is like Jay Fair to Mike G. He's a big Denver Jones fan. I like Denver Jones. I like how he's found his place on this team in terms of being a defensive guy who can give you buckets when you need them. Right? This guy knows how to score, can score, and this was something that we did not have the past 2 seasons. A guy who had that ability, but again, because of how deep we are, he doesn't have to be the main guy. So he contributes when he's gone. He's hot. Chad is hot. Jay Will is hitting shot. Like that's when it's like it's raining down on teams, right? So it's just great to have another guy like him who's beginning to figure out where he fits on this team and is beginning to make an impact. Yeah, I love to see it.
Shout out to Jay Will with the turnaround hook shot 2 times in the lane. Phenomenal. See, using your size to your advantage, you already like 6'10", Jay Will. 6'9", 6'10". Go down there. Their big wasn't that good. Put them on your back. Turn around. You got long arms too. Just basketball 101, man. It was beautiful to see. It's so fun to see Jay Will coming to himself because he's always been built to do this, and I'm glad to see him doing it, man.
Yeah, one thing about Denver too is he was getting to the basket early, and when he gets to the basket early, that sets up that three. You know, you get some good looks, easy at the basket. You maybe get to the free throw line, knock down a couple of those, and that sets up your confidence to open up the rest of your game.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, Auburn has. I mean, again, it's gonna be a tough stretch, man.
Yeah,
it's brutal over this next stretch. But again, like you said, Dustin, if Auburn can win half of those, split those, they even win more. You got to feel good about where this team sits going into the tournament.
I want that Gainesville one, guys.
Look, Florida is not nearly as bad as I wish they were to have to play at Florida.
I know.
And South Carolina is surprisingly good. Like I still haven't watched them yet to scout them out. I don't know what's going on with South Carolina.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
So yeah.
Yeah, we will definitely
these next 4
is gonna be, I mean, 5. I mean, you Kentucky. You got Kentucky at home.
Well, the next 4 is Bama, Florida, South Carolina,
Kentucky. Then you got Georgia on the road at Georgia, who've been playing people tough at home when they're at home.
Right.
Then you got back on the road against Tennessee.
Right.
You got Mississippi State coming back in. That's a revenge game.
Yeah. And then at Mizzou, but Mizzou's not good. They're the worst team in the conference. So
they found that out today.
Yeah. 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 You can't beat Missouri. I mean, you can't beat Arkansas in their current state. You are the worst team.
Yeah, they got beat by Vandy today.
Oh, that was Vandy that beat. That's right.
Vandy.
That's right.
Vandy. No, Arky got ran off the court,
wasn't it?
Yeah, they got booty blasted.
Yeah. They did.
So, yeah. Let's see here. Ben Bloodworth says, I'm late, but I love the fight and the great comeback in a very hostile environment. War Eagle, I agree with you 100% there.
Phenomenal game. Love to see that.
Let's see here. P-Pass asks, is this the deepest and most talented SEC team in years?
The most talented SEC in years.
Talented SEC in years.
Actually, I don't think it is. I think we've had more talented teams in the conference. I think Kentucky's down. Tennessee is kind of standing pat with where they usually are. Maybe down just a little bit.
They love
Tennessee. LSU's had more talented teams. Arkansas's definitely had better teams. I think we're probably
even. I think we're even with where we
maybe down just a little bit down, but not by much. I think it's just spread out a little bit.
I don't know, B. I think we're pretty even this year.
You think so?
I think we're even, believe it or not, because to me, you just replaced Arkansas with South Carolina this year, in my opinion.
Okay.
They just traded places, in my opinion. And Florida is sneaky good, in my opinion.
They are. Kentucky not being very good, though. At least they usually have elite talent. But I do think we're seeing it in football. I think also in basketball, too. People are figuring out I can go anywhere. Number 1, get paid. Number 2, play in the tournament. It's a 68-team tournament. Why do I need to pile up at Kentucky? You don't.
Right.
And they aren't anymore. And because John Calipari is a fraud of a coach, he's not going to run anybody off the floor with a team that doesn't have 8 more talented players than you like he could do 10 years ago. So this is just what it is. Kentucky's new reality is they're not that good.
Yeah, A&M has kind of taken a step back this year, but Ole Miss has stepped in their place. Like I just think we're even. We're even
Have
this
they
year.
though? Has Ole Miss stepped in their place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they were playing well before tonight. I don't even know if we can tell by how they play us, because I think us at our best is just a really, really good team.
I mean, they're not A&M, but I'm saying you probably A&M was a tournament team. You know, they got screwed, I think, 2 years ago, but they were a tournament team even then. I think Ole Miss is a tournament team. I know A&M will probably be on the bubble this year.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got some teams that are trading places with one another. So I don't think Kentucky's been kind of down for a minute. Like, if we're going to be honest, like they've been their usual selves in years where people were like, yo, the SEC is really pushing for one of the better conferences. I think with Auburn, Tennessee, those other schools, even Alabama playing the way they are, I think those are the teams that's been kind of keeping the conference up, or where they have been. So I think it's pretty even this year.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here? It's good reaction. What is your thoughts as we go into Iron Bowl Part 2?
I really want to put Bama in a figure 4 leg lock on Wednesday. That's what I want to happen. I really want to. I want to see dejected players with their heads down and towels over their heads, just looking like at the end of the game. That's what I want to see. I think we'll get a double-digit win, but that performance against that Bama team, that was the first game all year where I thought the environment and the early energy from the other team shook us to an extent that I haven't seen since then. They're going to want to write that. And I think, Dustin, you said this, and they've been saying this in the chat, but getting this win on the road, I think it corrects some things that weren't working great when we played Mississippi State or when we played Vanderbilt. Like, Vanderbilt wasn't an elite performance from us. I think Vanderbilt's just bad. But Aiden didn't play well at all in the Vanderbilt game. You're starting to see him turn the corner. Like, let everybody come to the party, prepared to play, not shaken up from playing in that old tin can, Coleman, and them turning the lights off on you. Yes, let's show them what that game should have been and get it back. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, you got a bunch of momentum now, right? Like, you should be feeling good. You should be feeling confident. It's nice to know that you handle both of your opportunities versus Ole Miss. And like I said, they were talking, so now they know. And, it feels good to kind of let Alan Flanagan know, hey, man, I don't know why you went over there when you already knew that they weren't going to beat us, and you went over there and you didn't beat us. So it felt good for all those reasons. So yeah, let's just go in here and handle business, man. This team should take this one personal, and it's time. Like I said, it's time to beat Bama in one of these major sports. So let's get this one done. And and I think that we will. I think that the atmosphere is going to be jumping. Like I said, I think this team is going to be feeling good. They're going to be fired up. And I think we're going to shoot the ball well. I think we're going to put them in hell on the defensive end. It's going to lead to a lot of fast break opportunities. And, it'll just be tough for Alabama. So, yeah, I feel good about this one.
Same here. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us, y'all. Before you get out of here, man, please be sure to share this video. Share this video, group chat, message boards, social media. Please do the necessary. Smash that like button and subscribe to us. If you haven't done so already, you can find us on Twitter. Yes, I'm rebelling. Twitter,
that's right.
IG, even Facebook at The War Report. We're TW Report on TikTok. We will see you tomorrow with the weekend tailgate. So definitely be there for sure. But we appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Where you go?
Hey, well, damn.